Sorry about that. I was sitting in a classroom where people were starting to get into class. I found another classroom. I hope nobody's gonna have a lecture here. I can't really tell, like there's no schedule on the door, so I don't really know. But yeah, sorry. I had to stop that one, and now I'm just gonna wait for people to get in again. And then we'll see if I can stay in here. Also, look at the view from the classroom. This is the public library, like the big one. I think, can you even see Empire State? Well, yeah. You can see Empire State Building is right behind the big building. So that's also a perk of NYU. It's getting really good class views. I'm just gonna give it a few more minutes or seconds so that people can jump in again. Sorry. And my campus is right at Bryant Park. So that's like the park you can see right down there. It's super nice. There's like a lot of cafes, coffee shops. Fifth Avenue is like right over there if you want to go shopping in between classes. So a lot of stuff to do. Yeah, I can see we're still missing some people. So, oh, I keep moving this logo. Sorry. And I need to see if I remembered everything. Okay, well now it's also the official live time. And just to give you an introduction, this is a partnership with TOEFL, as you can see the logo up here, and also studyusa.com. Basically, I'm partnering with them to show a day in my life as a master's student at NYU. And it's the end of the day, actually. I had my first class, and it was social media and the brand. I talked a little bit about it just before when I went live, but I'm just gonna repeat. So it's 2.5 hours. Started off with the professor just quickly introducing herself and like a broad introduction to the course. Also, because here in the US, the grading is quite different from at least back home. So back home, at least at Copenhagen Business School, you basically only get 1 grade for each course based on 1 exam, which is kind of wild when you think about it. Whereas here, for this course, for example, 15% is class participation. I think 25% was homework, which is divided into 3 different assignments. There's like 20% was quizzes during the year. There was a final presentation. So it's like you get a lot of chances and you could improve along the way, which I like a lot more, because you know, 1 exam for your entire grade, that's rough, and you can have a bad day, you can have a bad topic, whatever. Whereas here, I think the overall picture of how well you're doing in school is a lot better because of the grading system. So yeah, that's just another thing. Anyways, we had the class. She had to leave after an hour because she had a family emergency, but she did have a guest speaker come in, and that's also what I spoke about just before when I went live. They often do have guest speakers, which is pretty cool. So this guy was just talking about how he was promoting or rebranding the marathon in Bermuda. So that was quite interesting to hear, and it's also a good networking opportunity. So someone asked if I want to stay in New York City after my master's, and I definitely want to try and stay and get a job here or see what's possible. And if I can see myself living permanently in New York, I mean, you never really know what can happen. So I don't want to say yes, I don't want to say no. I'll just see what happens, basically, because obviously a lot of it is also tied to a visa situation, which is quite difficult here in the US. Anyways, I also showed the classroom view to some of you. This is the public library. We have the Empire State Building behind here, Bryant Park. Just a very nice view from the classroom. Anyways, what I also just wanted to talk about is how TOEFL kind of helps you prepare for the teaching methods here, because during this test you will get components where you have to go through lessons basically, and it's just a good way to rehearse how it's actually going to be in the classroom. As you can see here, it's small classrooms. You only sit like 25 people. So someone asked what my average was from high school, which I don't have translated to GPA, but it was 11.4. But the thing is, I didn't apply to NYU with that average. I applied with my undergrad, my bachelor's degree, which was 9.0 in Danish, or a 3.2 GPA in the American system. So any other questions about NYU, studying abroad, the application process? I just wanted to give people a chance to ask questions now. That's why I've been going live different times throughout the day, because I obviously know we're on different time zones as well. But yeah, it is very nice here. I keep looking if someone's coming. I don't think there's gonna be a class in here though, so I think we might be safe. The time is almost 6 o'clock, and I have a concert at 7, so I'll be going soon. But yeah, I just wanted to check in again, and I'm gonna make an entire TikTok video about this whole day as well. That's gonna come up probably when you guys wake up tomorrow in Europe. And it's funny because the concert I'm going to is a Danish artist, Christopher, because he's apparently here in New York doing a little show. So I think that's going to be quite fun going to. Anyways, now I'm just walking a bit around the classroom. I hear there's a lot of celebs that go to NYU. What's your experience? I actually haven't seen any celebs here. I obviously do know some who went, like, they're alumni. There's a lot of famous people who went. But right now, I mean, I guess they're not famous yet, but then maybe in a few years, I'm gonna be like, oh, I went with this person. I'm not sure. Anyways, in New York City in general, I've seen Sarah Jessica Parker. Actually, she shot Sex and the City right down here, where I walked past the whole shoot. I saw Ed Sheeran on top of a car in the middle of Soho singing with his guitar. He played like 3 or 4 songs. That was really cool. I've seen Dylan O'Brien. You might know him from Teen Wolf or The Maze Runner. He was casually sitting at a bar. Like, people didn't really recognize him. And I was fangirling a lot because I'm a huge fan of Dylan O'Brien. So, yeah. Those are the celebs I've seen, I think. Someone asked if I can go live early in the day. So I actually went live at 8 a.m. and at 11:30 a.m. So I'm sorry that you missed that, but that's exactly why I did it, because I know I have a lot of different followers who's coming from different time zones in different countries. So, but let me know if you want me to go live, and maybe also go live in Danish, because I obviously know there's a lot of Danish people following me, so I can do that some other time as well. Yes, might need some water before I'm headed out. We have the gold hour. Where are you? I'm in a classroom at NYU. I just had class and I wanted to go live. So you guys can see it as well. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this is a partnership with TOEFL, which is the English test that foreign people have to take when they want to study abroad. And yes, I can speak Danish, but I'm speaking English because most of my followers are international. maybe I can ask, is there anyone who's considered studying abroad or studying their entire degree abroad or going on exchange like for high school or something like that? Because then you need to take this test. And it's a 4-hour long test divided into different components. So you will have to do reading, you will have to do writing, there's also listening and speaking, and you can get up to 30 points in each component. So that makes a total of 120 points. And different universities require different points. So for example, NYU required 110, which is pretty high. Some universities, it might only be 80, like it's very different. But anyways, it's like a test that gives you access to a lot of different places. I can see there might be people coming in now, so I might have to jump off soon, but we'll see. Someone asked how old I am. I'm 25 years old, and I'm doing my master's degree. Just have to check along with the clock. And thank you for the compliments. Anyways, definitely let me know if you want me to do more specific videos on TOEFL, because there's like some specific strategies on how you can excel the test. And I've taken it twice, and the first time I took it I got 102 points, and then the second time I got 109 points. So someone asked what I'm studying and how it can be used in Denmark. I'm studying integrated marketing, which basically means all marketing, like print. It's going to be video, radio, social media, like digital marketing, can be outdoor marketing, especially here in New York City. There's so much out of home marketing, whether it's billboards or in the subway. So it's just like all around 360 marketing basically, and you can use that everywhere. It's such a broad degree. You can use it in all countries, which is why it also makes sense, because obviously some degrees you can't really do abroad. Let's say you're studying law in Denmark, then you can't really use it elsewhere, but marketing works for anyone. So yeah, is there any other questions? Because I might have to leave in 5 minutes or so, before people start coming in. Just gonna give you guys a second while I get some water. And actually, you can drink the tap water in New York City. I think that's something a lot of people don't know, but it's clean, so you can drink it. That I'm saying with a bottle of water. But so someone asked if I would consider working in New York City in the future. So yeah, I'm gonna graduate in May, and I really want to see if it's possible to stay here. I get to stay here 1 more year on my student visa, and I'm allowed to work here. And then after that, I would need a work visa, which is more difficult to get. But yeah, there's a lot of job opportunities here within marketing, so I definitely want to see what's possible. Yeah. Any other questions? My arm is starting to die because I'm holding it. I'm not sure what all these gifts mean, but please don't send any sort of money or anything, because I'm not sure, like the roses or whatever it is. Don't send it anything, for sure. Don't spend money on this live session. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if there's any questions about like the cultural differences, because there's a lot. For example, one thing is actually, you can see what I'm wearing to school. Jeans, sneakers, a top. A lot of Americans will wear pajamas. So that was also like a cultural difference for me, that you don't really have to dress up for school. Whereas I think at least in Scandinavia, you're quite dressed for school, or at least just like everyday clothes. So there's small stuff like that, which is kind of interesting to see the differences. Anyways, if there's not any more questions, then I'm gonna be going because I have to go to the concert. So I'll just give you a minute to text if there's anything. Someone saying it would be nice to show up in pajamas. Yeah. So if you have a day off, then it's nice to show up not really doing anything, chilling. You can do that. But yeah, it is because I went to Copenhagen Business School, and then some people, they go straight from class to work. And obviously sometimes work requires like maybe even a suit. So a lot of the guys at Copenhagen Business School would maybe wear like shirts and suit pants and that kind of stuff. That's not the case here, for sure. How do I finance my education? That's a great question. It's very expensive studying in the US because obviously a lot of you guys are Danish. We have free education, but there's ways to do it. And obviously it also depends on the city you're studying in, the university you choose, because I probably chose one of the most expensive universities in one of the most expensive cities. There's definitely cheaper ways to do it, but the Danish government is helping you out because they're going to pay some of the tuition. Basically what it would cost them to have you study in Denmark. You still get your government support SU, and then you can get scholarships as well. There's a lot of Danish foundations, also internationally. Like a lot of countries have foundations where they support students studying abroad, and that's also where I get a lot of my money to study here. And then there's also a Danish foundation that has a house or a building here in New York. So I'm living for free or like without paying rent, basically, which is also a huge thing because rent is very expensive here in the city. Someone asked if the support is the same here as back home, and yeah, you get just as much here and even extra, because there's like other stipends you will get studying abroad. But definitely make a budget, like research all your opportunities, because you need to put everything down in an Excel sheet and have an overview to see what's possible. And I also saved a lot of money. So I was working for a year full-time before I got here. So I also had a lot in savings that I could spend here because I knew it was going to be expensive. Anyways, any other questions here in the end before I jump off? No, so well, someone asked if you live like very low cost. No, I don't. But that's also the thing. If you save up for this, then obviously you don't have to live by eating pasta and ketchup. I go out and eat. I do stuff with my friends. Obviously, it's also how you prioritize everything. But I didn't want to come here feeling like I couldn't do all the stuff that I wanted to do. So that's definitely also a thing, because that would suck, right? If you came here and then you could sit at home all the time, then it might not be worth it. But again, New York City is also very expensive. Like there's a lot of other places you can go that are a lot cheaper. Or if you study abroad in Europe, like for European people, it's a lot cheaper because the tuition is going to be lower. And also Europe, the European currency in general is not that strong right now. So let's say you went to Spain or something like that, it's going to be a lot cheaper. So yeah, look at the options for sure. Anything else before I jump off? Or else make sure to look at the videos that I'm going to post. And let me know what you guys want to see from me going forward. Because now that I'm in school again, I'm going to be posting a lot more here on TikTok. And follow on Instagram if you want like day-to-day things, because I do post a lot on my Instagram story. Versus here, I don't post on the story, I only post actual videos. So yeah, follow on Instagram as well. And yeah, just wanted to say this video is sponsored by TOEFL. Oh no, the logo fell out. I didn't even see that. The logo is down here. Sorry, I'll move it up again. It's sponsored by TOEFL and studyusa.com. Anyways, thank you guys and sleep well to those who are going to bed. Bye bye.